So let's talk about our course content. So in this course content, we are going to cover Palo Alto plus we are going to cover Checkpoint. So if we talk about the Palo Alto, so Palo Alto is a leader in the market nowadays, okay, and it offers many certification. So its first certification is PCCSA. So this is a certification that's related for the cybersecurity students, and the full form of this certificate is Palo Alto Network Certified Cybersecurity Associate. So if you want to manage a Palo Alto firewall, so you can um, go for the PCNSA, or if you want to manage in expert level, so you can go for the PCNSC. Okay, so NSA is a security administrator and NSC is a security engineer. So that's an expert level certification. So these are the certification which is offered by the Palo Alto. If we talk about the Checkpoint certification, so Checkpoint certification, we have CCSA. This is an entry level certification in a Checkpoint. And after CCSA, we can go for the CCSE. And after CCSE, we can go for the CCSN. So CCSN is a master one, where CCSA is a entry level certification. Apart from these certification, there are other certification which is offered by the Checkpoint. So now if we talk about the course content that we are going to cover here for the Palo Alto, so we are going to cover a Palo Alto firewall, including its hardware concept. So hopefully you have already visited our website where you can get the course content into the detail. So in first lab, we are going to cover the introduction of the Palo Alto firewall, including all the hardwares. Then we are going to cover the vulnerability protection, security profile, etc. And then there is a anti-spyware security profile, antivirus security profile. These are the things which we are going to cover. Apart from this, we will cover a packet filtering, how Palo Alto do the packet filtering. So here we will talk about the security policy. And then we will cover the zone protection, how we can protect the zone. We will cover virtual system as well. So what are the virtual system, what's their benefit, how you can create. We will also cover how to implement VPN, site-to-site VPN or remote VPN. We will cover net policy, so including all the nets, okay, whether it's a source net, destination net, we are going to cover all these things. And after this, there is a SSL encryption, decryption that we are going to cover. And then we are going to cover detail about App ID, how App ID works, how you can create your custom App ID, and how you can create application override rule. And finally, we will cover network security management, how you can manage the security of an entire network using Palo Alto. So please let me know if you have any doubts, any question. All right, thank you. Moving to next one. This is about firewall protection. So how firewall is going to protect us? So firewall is going to protect from unauthorized access. Okay, so you can allow some specific type of traffic. So that traffic would be authorized, but rest of the traffic would be unauthorized, which you haven't allowed, that is not going to pass through the firewall. It is going to protect us from remote login. It is going to protect us from spam, email bombing, IP spoofing, different types of attack. For example, DOS attack, DDoS attack, session hijacking, or session spoofing, network and OS vulnerability. So from all these types of attack or vulnerability, firewall is going to protect us. Now, moving to next one, that is a course outline for CCSA. That's a Checkpoint course. So in Checkpoint, we will cover introduction of the Checkpoint firewall. We will also cover here deployment platform, how we can deploy the Checkpoint firewall, how we can install in the Checkpoint firewall in the lab. Then we will cover how we can monitor the traffic connection and what are the common tools we have available using which we can monitor the connection, we can monitor the traffic. We will also cover here building the security policy, how we can create a security policy, what are the kind of security policy we have in Checkpoint. And then we will cover the configuration of zone. Basically, we will create a DMZ dedicated zone and we will see that how we can do the netting on that particular zone. So that we will also cover in a checkpoint. So this is a comparison course. So we will tell you what are the differences in a Palo Alto and what are the differences in a checkpoint, how you can do the configuration of netting in a checkpoint, or how you can do a configuration of netting in a Palo Alto. Then we will cover user authentication, where we will authenticate the user using a third party. Okay, third party, maybe LDAP, Radius. And then we will cover here checkpoint VPN. We will cover checkpoint IDS, DLP, URL filtering, clustering, smart update, smart licenses, and command line interface. We will cover here how we can do deploy the things using the command line. And finally, we will cover troubleshooting session. And in here, we will talk about the common issue that we found in a day-to-day job. Do we have any question, guys? No? Okay. Moving to next one, why we should choose Palo Alto firewall. So the first thing is Palo Alto is a market leader nowadays. So in many organizations, you would get Palo Alto firewall. Then it's a next generation firewall feature. Palo Alto is going to provide you next generation firewall feature. So if we talk about next generation firewall, so next generation firewall is able to protect the network from a different attacks. Even it has a IPS, IDS signature. Okay, it is able to identify the application. Okay, so all these things, all these features of the next generation firewall, which is provided by the Palo Alto. You can manage Palo Alto firewall, whether you can use a Panorama or you can individually manage the Palo Alto firewall. In other firewall, this is not possible. I mean, especially in checkpoint, this is not possible. If you want to manage your checkpoint firewall, so you require one device which is called smart management. So that device you require. But if here in Palo Alto, if you don't have a Panorama, a management device, you can manage the firewall individually. So if your organization having a low budget and they don't buy a Panorama, so you can deploy policy individually using a firewall itself. Then there is a SP3 model in a Palo Alto firewall. So SP3 model is stand for single pass parallel processing. And this architecture is going to make the Palo Alto firewall very fast in terms of the packet processing. So we will talk about SP3 model later. Now, other thing is in a Palo Alto firewall that Palo Alto firewall has a dedicated CPU. It is for the management and for the data plane. So it has a separate CPU for different plane. For management, there is a separate CPU, and for data plane, there is a separate CPU. So if, let's say, if any attack happen in your network and your data plane CPU got overutilized, even though your management CPU would not be affected here. So using management CPU, you can block the attack. Means you can push the policy through the management plane, okay, into the data plane, and then you can block the attack. So a different CPU for different plane. So that is going to make more effective of this particular firewall. And the Palo Alto firewall can be deployed on premises or any public cloud vendor. So these are the features which making Palo Alto firewall, okay, to top leader in market. The next thing, Palo Alto can also work as a in Palo Alto, you can deploy a central log collection. That means all the devices log would be going to store on a central location, right? So this is why we should choose a Palo Alto firewall in our network. Now, if we talk about the checkpoint, why we should use checkpoint firewall? So what are the unique feature in a checkpoint firewall that we don't have in Palo Alto firewall? So basically, checkpoint is a specialized vendor. So they are a firewall creator. They have more experience than the Palo Alto. And it's a more open. That means in using a checkpoint firewall, you can just combine another open platform security technology. Okay, and it does provide different operating system. And there are 3 operating system in a checkpoint firewall: Splat, IPSO, Gaia. Gaia is a combination of Splat plus IPSO. So Gaia is the latest operating system in a checkpoint. Checkpoint does provide better management tooling. So in Checkpoint, there is a smart console, which is very user friendly. Using this, you can apply the policy. You can easily troubleshoot. This is very easy to manage. In Checkpoint, every services, if you want to enable any services, for example, you want to enable firewall, you want to enable VPN, so you can enable using different types of blade, because in Checkpoint, all the services you can enable using a blade software. Okay, so you just enable the blade and you would get the service of that. For example, by default, the Checkpoint firewall is going to provide you firewalling. But if you want to use a Checkpoint firewall for the VPN or for the antivirus, so you can enable the blade as per your requirement. Using Checkpoint firewall, you can manage the things centrally. What are the things you can manage from a single location or central location? You can manage policy, you can manage licenses, you can manage the updates, you can manage the logging. All these things you can manage from a central location. Then Checkpoint firewall is going to provide you cloud security as well. Means this firewall you can deploy on the cloud. Apart from this, Checkpoint is providing some redundancy and some traffic handling mechanism. So using ClusterXL, you can deploy Checkpoint firewall in a HA, high availability mode. And using Core XL, Secure XL concept, your Checkpoint is going to process packet very fast. In Checkpoint, if you want to deploy any management tool in Checkpoint, you don't require to think about the compatibility of the Java. Okay, like in ASA or in ASA, if you want to deploy ASDM, so you're required to think that which version would be compatible. Any question? No? All right, so moving to next. Let's talk about the Palo Alto firewall. In Palo Alto firewall, there is a feature which is known as a single pass parallel processing. So let's understand what is this single pass parallel processing. So single pass is nothing but this is a software technology in a Palo Alto firewall. So using which it processes the packet parallelly. So a single pass, sorry, in single pass, basically whenever any packet received on the Palo Alto firewall, so Palo Alto firewall used to looks many things into the packet. Okay, so it looks for the policy using policy engine. It would check the policy, and in the policy engine you would have a different type of thing. You would have the application ID where it would be able to identify that this is kind of a application ID. This is using this feature, it would be able to identify that the packet, the data which is within the packet is belongs from which application. For example, if you have generated any traffic using a Zoom application, so it would be able to identify that this is a Zoom traffic. So this is application ID. Then there is a user ID. So in user ID, it would be able to identify that using which user it has been generated, whether it's user A, B, C, what user. So it would be able to identify the user as well. Then there is a content ID. So content ID, it would be able to identify the content, whether content is malicious or it's non-malicious. So all those things it would be able to identify using a content ID. And then there is networking. So all these functions would be performed using a single pass. Okay, and it would be performed parallelly. To support this, there are a parallel hardware. Okay, to support all these things, there are parallel hardware. So for management, you have a dedicated hardware, and for the data plane, you have a dedicated hardware. So for networking in the data plane, there is a networking device who supports the networking. There is a security who support the security, our content things, policy things. All these hardware are dedicated hardware which supports all these functions that to be done in a parallelly. Okay, any question? Let's move to next. Now, let's talk about we have understood the concept that how Palo Alto works. Let's talk about checkpoint, how checkpoint works. So in checkpoint, you can deploy checkpoint firewall in a two mode. You can deploy checkpoint firewall in a distributed mode, or you can deploy a checkpoint firewall in a standalone mode. So in checkpoint firewall, there would be three component. Okay, it would have a management server, which is a management plane. This is a management plane. Management plane. This is smart console. This is a client software which used to access smart manager, and there is a security gateway. This is a data plane. Data plane. So you can deploy your checkpoint firewall in this way, whether you would use a separate device for all these three, or you can go and deploy in a stand-alone mode where you can install the management and your gateway on a single machine, and that machine you can access using a smart console. All right. So please let me know if there is any question. All right, so this was the last slide of our demo. Let's talk about, our lab. Let's do the basic connectivity in the lab. All right, guys, so this is our lab. And if you want to configure your lab, so you can take the help of our workbook. We have a workbook, and you can take the help of our workbook. Okay, so here you would see the activity and the configuration, all these things, right? And you can do that. So here we are just going to show you how we can do the basic setup on a Palo Alto firewall. Okay, and then I would give you demo that how we can do the setups on the checkpoint firewall. So let's first do on the Palo Alto. So this is our Palo Alto firewall, and we have two firewall, Palo Alto 1 and Palo Alto 2. So let's do the basic connectivity. That's a management connectivity. Okay, so let's go and open one of the firewall. So you can access the firewall here by clicking on this. When you click, it is going to open one console. You can expand this and you can log in here. So by default, username is admin and password is also admin. This is the default username and password. It is asking old password. You can put admin, and now it is asking new password. Here we can put the new password. Test at the rate 123. Test at the rate 123. Now, this is the basic things, and basic things what you require to configure first. You require to access this firewall. So if you want to access this firewall on the network, you require a management IP. So let's configure a management IP on this. Okay. So if you want to configure management IP, or if you want to do any configuration, you require to go into configure mode. So when you run configure, now you are in configure mode. Here you can put the IP. So if you want to put your IP, so first of all, you can run the command set device config, then system. First of all, we need to make sure that our IP mode would be selected on a static, not a dynamic. If it would have selected dynamic, so if you restart your firewall, uh, your IP settings would go. So we need to select first this as a static. So here we need to define a type, and type we need to define static. And then you can run the command set device config system, and here you can define the IP. So IP dash address, and you can define IP. So if you want to define IP like 10.1.1, this is IP of your Palo Alto firewall, and then net mask you can define, that's a 255.255.255.0, and then you can commit this. Okay, so management IP we have defined. Now let's exit. And let's go to define the other firewall, same IP. I mean, in the same way, we can define IP to other firewall. Let's log in. Admin is username password. Enter old password. This is test at the rate. Sorry, the old password is the admin. And new password is the test at the rate 123. Test at the rate 123. Go to configure. And here we can run the command same set device config system type is static and then set device config system IP dash address and we can assign the IP address. This is 10.0.0.2 I'm going to assign and then net mask 255.255.255.0. Now we can commit this. And similarly, we need to commit on the Palo Alto firewall one as well. It's already committed. So all the setting has been saved. And now we can assign IP on our system, on this system, this workstation, so that we can access it. So let's assign the IP on the workstation. So this workstation has been open here. Okay, so we need to go into run to assign the IP. Run. Run. And over here we can define the IP using ncpa.cpl. This is the interface which is connected to management. So we can check whether any IP is assigned here. Yes, this series IP is assigned here 10.0.0.10. If we want to verify, we can verify using ping. So let's ping to the firewall, ping 10.0.0.1, enter. And then we can start pinging second firewall. This is second one. Okay, let's exit from here. All right, so we got the basic connectivity. Now for the management, what we are going to do in the switch, we are going to define a dedicated VLAN. So let's open switch and let's create some VLAN here. So enable conft and VLAN. We can take a VLAN 10 and we can assign the name. The name is management. And now we can go to interface and we can move the interfaces one by one into the management VLAN. So let's go to the interface. So we have different interfaces. We have 1/0, okay, and 3/1 plus 5/0. So these interface would be connected to, if you see here, these are the management VLAN. So we need to run this command so that this command VLAN 10 we have created. Now we need to select the range and these interface should be moved into the VLAN 10. So let's move them into VLAN 10. So what are the interface we have? We have 3/1, 1/0 and 5/0. This should be moved on to VLAN 10. So let's go and give interface range and then Ethernet 3/1, comma Ethernet 1/0, comma Ethernet space ETH 5/0. Let's move them into the VLAN 10 so we can run the command switch port access VLAN 10. VLAN 10. Okay, let's save it, do WR, and let's check if workstation is still able to ping. CMD ping 10.0.0.1-T. Okay, just wait, do show VLAN.
Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Myself, MIT. I'm Kumar here.
What did you say? Your voice is very low.
Yeah, I have one doubt here actually. So you
Yeah,
have configured IP address. There is a gateway for the two Palo Alto firewall in the workstation, right?
yes.
You
We
are the
just
gate. You
configure
are
the
given.
management only.
I didn't got it. You are given the gateway address of the Palo Alto firewall in the workstation, right? For LAN port, LAN card. Assigning the IP for the LAN card, two LAN cards, right?
I
In
think
the
it's
workstation.
yeah, I think it's already assigned. Let me check.
No, that is my question actually.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you have to give the specific IP address for the specific gateway to route the traffic for the specific Palo Alto firewall, right?
Yeah, but it's a layer 2, so it would be directly able to access it.
Is it layer 2?
Yeah, it's layer 2 VLAN I have created here. This is layer 3. The management is layer 3, but they are in the same subnet, so they would be able to ping each other.
No, I didn't
I
got
mean,
it. Can you just repeat me once again, please, clearly?
yeah, they all are in the same subnet, so they would be able to ping each other.
Of course, but in this workstation server,
Hmm.
there are three network card, right?
Yeah,
Network card. So each specific network card, we have to assign each IP address as well as gateway of the firewall, right?
yes, we need to do that.
So that should be the same subnet. It will route the traffic for the layer 2 switch. So I think
Yeah,
this switch belongs to multi-layer, right? Net SW.
yeah, it's a multi-layer
Fine.
switch.
There we are going to create the VLANs and it will route the traffic through the trunk port of the Palo Alto firewall, right?
Trunk port is not there. I mean,
So,
because these management is a layer 3. So if it would have a layer 2, then we need to configure trunk. Because
okay,
this is a layer 3, so we don't require to configure as a
okay.
trunk because
Layer
it
3
would
not required.
yeah,
Fine, fine. It will react as a layer 2 plus layer 3.
yeah. So I think
Okay.
I am bit maybe Ethernet 5/0 or 4/0. Let me move both interfaces on a VLAN 10 and let's check if they are able to ping.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Right now it is not able to ping. I would move another interface as well because not sure whether Ethernet 2 has taken here or 4/0 is taken here. So let's move that one as well. So interface Ethernet 4/0 switch port mode. Sorry, switch port access VLAN 10.
I think it might take some time to reach.
Yeah. Let's stop for a moment and let's wait. Ethernet 5/0. This is management 1/0. 3/1. Okay, now I'm getting reply. That means the basic connectivity is okay. Now I can access my firewall. Okay. So let's access firewall. HTTPS and then access firewall. We are just accessing the management only. Okay, using management, you can do a basic setup of your firewall first, where you can define the routing, where you can define the banners, where you can define the TLS profile. Okay, so right now it is giving the certificate error, but we can install the right certificate for the management, and then it won't be giving the certificate error. We can ignore this by going on advanced and then proceed. And over here, we can define the username admin, and the password is we just change as a test123. So I'm able to access the firewall using the management. Okay, this is our firewall. Let me just quickly walk through with different tab. I hope you might have earlier experience on the Palo Alto. If not, then let me just walk through. So this is the dashboard where you can see that in dashboard you can see the general information, and in general information you can see what is the device name. So this is the device name PAVM. What's the management IP? You can see the management IP. You can see the subnet mask, etc. You can see IPv6. So this is, we haven't assigned any IPv6 and it's taken using a link local address. Then there is a MAC address of this management device. You can see model number. You can see this is PAVM. If it would have a hardware, then it would show you the hardware model number over here. So if we have different types of hardware in a Palo Alto. Okay, so PA220, 850. So these are the models we have. So if there would have hardware, so it would show the hardware model number. Serial number, it would give you serial number once it would get activated. Then there is a CPU ID. All these information you can see. The current operating system version you can see. Okay, date and time you can see. Okay, all these things you can see. Even though here you can see the system logs. So in system logs you can see that who tried to access. Okay, when it is try to access, and who is currently logging. You can see the admin is currently logging using web and using CLI. And then you can see that what are the operation has been performed. So this is the general information you can see under dashboard. There is a policy. Okay, you can create a policy from here. Okay, and to create policy, definitely we require an object. So using object, you can create an object. There is a network option using which you can configure the interfaces. There is a device option where you can configure the settings related to device. For example, if you want to change the host name, so you can go under setup, there is management, and here is the host name. You can change the host name from here. Okay, so you can give any host name. For example, I'm just giving it Palo Alto. Sorry. Palo Alto 01. So you can define the host name. You can define the domain name like netminium.net. The domain name is optional. Login banner you can define. You can define the TLS SSL profile for the management access. Okay. Then you can define the time zone. All these things you can configure. These are the basic things which you can configure. And when you configure, yeah.
You already mentioned the domain name, right?
Yeah, domain name.
If that domain name is not mentioned in the sense, what will happen actually? It won't send the traffic and receive the traffic, right?
I didn't get your question.
First workstation in the sense, sorry, you have mentioned the domain, right? netminium.net. Is it mandatory or not actually?
This is not mandatory. This is optional. If you want to remove, you can remove. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so here you can see these are the basic settings, and these would only effective when you commit this. So here we have commit option. Using this, you can commit the changes, and you would see when you define a different name. Right now now you can see we have a Palo Alto name is, my firewall name is right now admin pa-vm. When you change and commit it using workstation, let's commit this. Now my VM name should have been changed. Palo Alto name should have changed after committing this. So after committing, the change you made, that would get effective. So now we just committed, and now you can see if I show you here, the name of the device has been changed. Okay. So these are the basic things which we can manage. Okay. There are many things which we can cover in the class regarding the Palo Alto. Let me quickly show the demo of Checkpoint. Okay. Do we have any question on this?
No.
All right, thanks. So let me just quickly turn off all these devices. And let me show you the demo of Checkpoint.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in this circuit, in this diagram,
Yeah.
the router and the switch is there, right?
Yeah.
So this switch belongs to multi-layer, right?
This switch is a
Multi-layer.
multi-layer switch. Yes.
Of course, if there is a multi-layer switch deployed in this between, so do we require this router actually? Of course,
We are
both are same functions, right?
these router we are using for the client.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are using as a client. We are
To
because
to communicate between the workstations, desktop and all, right?
yes, yes. So
Okay.
what we will do, let's say I just want to make a communication from this workstation to this router. So we will move the communication through the firewall.
Sorry.
So if you want to make a communication between a workstation to the router, okay, so we will consider the router one, it is placed on the, let's say, outside, and this workstation is placed inside, okay. So what we will do, we will create a two VLAN over here. One is for the inside, another, one is for the internal and other for is the external. So from the
What about this
workstation,
R3? R3 is external or internal?
R3 we will use for the vWire when we will configure vWire. So at that time we will use this R3. We'll move the traffic between this interface Ethernet 1/4 and Ethernet 2/0
Okay, fine.
using the firewall. So it's a vWire. This is required for vWire.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me just quickly close this and then we can move to our Checkpoint lab. So this is Checkpoint lab. Here you can see we have a different gateway and management, because in Checkpoint we have required three things. One is we required a gateway. Gateway is nothing but firewall. The management, this is to manage the policy, and then this is the workstation. Here we will install the Smart Console. Smart Console, using Smart Console, we will access the manager. In the manager, we will create a policy, and then we will push the policy to the gateway through the manager. Okay, so let me quickly start all these devices.
So these options,
Yeah.
is these options available for demo practicing from GNS3?
Yeah, this is available in GNS3 as well, but on GNS3 you required to install so many binaries to make this lab active. Yeah. All right, so these devices is being started. We can track them. Let me close this terminal. Okay, so some of the device has been already started. Let me see the workstation. And let me try to open the manager. So this is the gateway. Okay, this is gateway 1. And if I show you the current management system configuration, so let's see. Let's log in. So any device you would take first time, you're required to access it. And if you have default IP on that, then fine. If you don't have, then you need to define the IP. So we have already defined the IP for the management of these devices. So this is gateway 1. Let me show you the configuration of this gateway, especially IP configurations. So there is the interfaces. Let me show the interfaces. Show interfaces. Interfaces. So it is going to show you interfaces. And here we don't have any dedicated management interface. So Ethernet 0 is configured as a management. So let me show you the configuration of this. So show interface Ethernet 0. So this is the configuration of Ethernet 0. And if you see for Ethernet 0, we don't have any IP address, right? So let's assign the IP address for Ethernet 0. So you can assign the IP address using this command, set interface ETH0, and then you can assign the IP address, IP dash IPv4 dash address. And you can assign any IP you want. So I'm assigning 10.0.0.1, and then mask length you need to define. So you can define as a 24. And here, if you want to save all the configurations, so here you need to run save config. This command you need to run. So I am just
we
configuring
can
the
write WR. WR will not work.
No, WR will not work here. WR is the Cisco based. Okay, so I'm assigning the management IP. Okay, sorry, on gateway I did assign wrong series of IP. We should have a same series of IP like an on manager. So on manager we have a 192.168.1.50. So we require to assign same series IP on a gateway as well. So let me just change the IP. Save config. Commit won't work here, Kumar.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, save config. So let me just quickly access the manager using workstation. So this is the workstation. Let me just restart this. Yeah, this is the workstation, and we can access our gateway. If you want to check the configuration using GUI, we can check the configuration of our gateway. So let's say I just want to access the first gateway. So this is the IP of first gateway. We can put here, and we can check the current configuration of these devices. So let's log in. Admin 123. Here you can see the current configuration of our devices. Where you can see the interface configuration. You can see the configuration related routing. You can see the configuration related, configuration related software updates. So all these things you can see. So this is a GUI console. Using this, you can configure a lot of things. Okay, but if you want to configure policy, you can't do this in a checkpoint. This is not possible to do policy configuration using a command line or using a GUI console. So what you can do, you require to access a smart management server, and that you can access only smart console. So we have a smart console. Let me just open it. So this is a smart console. So we have R8010 version in our checkpoint. Okay, so this is smart console using which we will access the manager, and then from manager we can push the policy to the different gateways. Okay, so you can provide username, password, and then IP of your smart manager. This is IP of a smart manager. Let's put the password, admin123. So initially it's take some time to connect to the server, because a smart manager services takes around 10 to 15 minutes to get up. See, it's showing as operation timeout. So meanwhile, services is not running on this manager. It would take some time to up all the services. Let me try again. I can run top command and we can see that what all the services is running. Okay, so required services still is not running. It is initializing. So we need to wait for some time, okay, till all the services get up. Until this is initialization is happening, so it is not going to start. So we need to wait 10 to 15 minutes. So this is all about demo, right? If you have any question regarding this, you can ask, okay, or we can wind up this demo. Any question, Kumar, Shri?
Yes, sir. Shall I ask one doubt actually? For me, it appears long before actually.
Your voice is breaking for me. I don't know if you have joined using hotspot or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one doubt actually.
Yeah.
So if you are logging to the gateway of the firewall,
Yeah.
so the default IP address will be there actually for each and every devices. Okay.
Yeah, it's
At the beginning.
192.168.1.1.
For yeah, of course, for any of the firewall.
Yeah.
After configuring manually, the IP would be assigned for the port. So after long time, suppose we have forgotten the IP address which we have assigned for the specific port. So how can we be able to log in for this management port actually if you have
There
forgotten
is
the IP address?
There is a console port. You're required to connect console port. Okay. And then you
There we
can,
have to assign admin name and password, right?
yeah, username and password. Yes. You're required to
Okay.
assign username password. If you have forgot username and password, so there is a reset button in Checkpoint. When you reset that, it is going to take a default one.
That is only the option, right?
Yeah.
Two options. Either we have to log in into the CLI mode by using admin and password.
Yeah.
Okay. If anybody some other authorized person would be assigned some other different username and password means, then we have to reset the button, right?
Yeah,
To
there is a reset button. Yeah. You can reset it.
we have to flush all the
I mean, when you reset this,
data.
it would come into the default configuration and your data would last. Definitely, it would last.
Okay.
So that to avoid
So
these things,
there in that scenario, we are not able to take the backup right before. Unable to, if you are
you
unable to
won't.
log in.
Yeah, you won't be able to take the backup.
Okay. So that is the difficulty one actually. If this problem persists. Okay.
Yes, yes. That's a difficulty. That's why in organization there is a disaster plan actually, and they used to take the backup of your devices
Yeah.
or assets. Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me try again if I can show you. Meanwhile, any other doubts around? No?
So is this standalone or distributed, sir?
This is distributed.
Okay.
You would see in this diagram.
Yeah.
We have the gateway, and this is manager, and this is the workstation. So all these component has been installed on different one. So this is distributed. Yeah. Okay. So we don't have any luck right now to log in into a smart console. It's
Actually, we have to
still too much
restart
time.
the gateway, I think so.
No, gateway don't require because we just configure the management IP. Okay, so we need to just wait. This initialization should be finished.
Okay.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
But it is going to take a time. So this is pretty simple. Okay, once you join this course, so I would teach you step by steps all those practicals. Yeah. Okay.
This is Shri.
Yeah. Hi, Shri.
So, hi. Are we going to get the access to the same lab and workbook that you are using?
Yeah. You would get.
Okay. Okay.
So even you can ask Joya. She would share the workbook for today. Okay, this one.
Yeah, I worked in Palo Alto, but I have no knowledge in Checkpoint, so I would like to explore more there. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. You would get getting the workbook for each one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other thing? Yeah, thanks.
Nothing for me. Demo looks great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your feedback, actually. All right. Joya or Parth, do you have any feedback for that?
So the actual class starts next week, right? So nothing for tomorrow.
Yeah, you can connect Joya. She would let you know that when it is going to be started. I think next week it would be.
Okay. No, I just want to check. There is nothing for tomorrow. Nothing scheduled for tomorrow.
Yeah. So all right. So if we don't have any doubts, so I'm just going to bind up this class. And thanks for attending the demo. Okay. See you in the class.
Sure. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.